Hello there, and welcome to this week's video game news, brought to you by the Ginger Ninja Gaming Network. My name is Ginger Ninja, and today I'll be bringing you the latest news in the video game world. No jokes, no opinions, just the facts.
Mission start!
We have several titles releasing this week. Blank releases Tuesday, February 14th for PC and Switch, $14.99 USD. An artistic co-op adventure game, players will go on the journey of a wolf cub and fawn that are stranded in a snowy wilderness. The black and white art style is completely hand-drawn on paper in 2D before being turned into 3D. The game is a text-free experience that can be played as couch co-op or online. Blank is rated E for everyone. Journey to the Savage Planet Employee of the Month Edition is being released on PS5 and Xbox Series, and is a free upgrade for anyone who owns the title on PS4 or Xbox One. The upgraded version of the game includes the DLC Hot Garbage, as well as optimizing the game for 4K graphics, 60 frames per second on PS5 and Xbox Series X, and more updates. The title is a first-person game that sees players exploring a new planet to figure out if it is habitable for humans. Journey to the Savage Planet, the Employee of the Month Edition, is rated T for teen. Also out tomorrow is Souls of Chronos for PC, PS5, and Switch for $19.99. It is a JRPG gameplay experience with an action combat system. In the midst of the crisis, a young boy and a young girl cross paths. In the nick of time, Sid, facing his impending death as a result of a series of unfortunate events, was luckily saved by a girl, Tori, who wields a special power, Chrono. Souls of Chrono is rated E10+ for everyone 10 and up. 4 titles will be released on Wednesday. First one is Cities Skylines Console Remastered for PS5 and Xbox Series. The city building game brings UI and UX improvements to the current gen consoles, as well as support for larger cities and graphical upgrades. The upgrade is free to those who already own the base game. Cities Skylines Console Remastered is rated E. Also out Wednesday is The Last Starship on PC in early access. Developed by Introversion Software, the developers of Prison Architect and Darwinia, The Last Starship allows players to pick a ship hull, fit it with engines, life support, sensors, and weapons, then head into battle. The game uses similar building mechanics to the Prison Architect games, but takes it to space. At the time of recording, no price or ESRB rating could be found. Immerse yourself in the history of ancient Egypt with 50 missions and over 100 gameplay hours in Pharaoh, A New Era, a remake of Pharaoh, and also play the expansion Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. A city builder originally created by Sierra Entertainment, players use stone by stone, building their city and managing all aspects of its development to ensure it prospers and makes them a powerful and revered pharaoh. At the time of recording, no price or ESRB rating could be found. The last game out on Wednesday is Returnal, making its debut on PC for $59.99. First released on PS5, the third-person shooter roguelike is a bullet hell game that is receiving graphical and performance-based enhancements, co-op mode, and more. After crash landing on this shape-shifting world, Celine must search through the barren landscape of an ancient civilization for her escape. Isolated and alone, she finds herself fighting tooth and nail for survival. Again and again she's defeated, forced to restart her journey every time she dies. Through fast, relentless gameplay, you'll discover that just as the planet changes with every cycle, so do the items at your disposal. Every loop offers new combinations, empowering you to push your boundaries and approach combat with a different strategy each time. Returnal is rated T. Thursday also has 4 games being released. First up, Elderand for PC and Switch for $19.99. A side-scroller action platformer with RPG elements, players wield an arsenal of killing devices including whips, daggers, bows, axes, and more. The game features more than 60 different enemy types, about a dozen bosses, and numerous locations to travel. Elderand is rated M for mature. Pinball FX is making the move to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and XS as a free-to-play title. It'll be launching later this year on Switch and other platforms. Discover brand new exclusive tables created for Pinball FX or find your favorites among more than 40 unique and visually enhanced favorites from Zen's extensive digital pinball library. Relive the most iconic moments from entertainment powerhouses like Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Universal Studios, and more. Enjoy recreations of the most famous pinball machines of all time with Williams Pinball or have fun with Zen's original creations. At the time of recording, no ESRB rating could be found. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition is coming to PC, PS5, and XS, and is a free upgrade for those who own the base game on PC, PS4, or X1. Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition is an ultra-violent blend of fast-paced gunplay, razor-sharp melee combat, and spectacular parkour movement through a mythical Japanese realm. It brings the option of either 60 frames per second or 4K to PC and current-gen systems, as well as other new features. Shadow Warriors 3 Definitive Edition is rated M. The fourth game to be released on February 16th is Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line for PS4 and Switch for $49.99. With 385 Final Fantasy music tracks from 46 different games, Theater Rhythm is a rhythm action game. It features online multiplayer of up to 8 players and has a total of 104 characters to choose from. Theater Rhythm Final Bar Line is rated T. On Friday, Gigantosaurus Dino Kart is releasing on PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, X1, and XS for $39.99. Race around Cretaceous as your favorite dinosaur in a prehistoric kart championship. Charge through the pack by picking up special skills that give you a shortcut, a jetpack-powered boost, or a way to knock out your rivals. The game has 15 tracks and 8 characters to choose from. Gigantosaurus Dino Kart is rated E. The Settlers New Allies is arriving on PC, PS4, PS5, Switch, X1, and XS on February 17th for $59.99. A strategy game that features real-time strategic battles. Choose from 3 factions, Ilari, Maru, and the Yorn. Each has a unique look, playstyle, and background story. The Settlers New Allies is rated E10+. Tales of Symphony Remastered will arrive on PS4, Switch, X1, and XS. This remaster is an action RPG that is set in a fantasy world with upgraded graphics and improved gameplay. The game supports up to 3 in local co-op and has anime cutscenes with cel-shaded characters designed by Kosuke Fujishima, the creator of the manga Oh My Goddess. Tales of Symphonia Remastered is rated T. At the time of recording, no price could be found. Wild Hearts ends the list for the week, also arriving on Friday for PC, PS5, and XS for $69.99. In a fantasy version of feudal Japan, you'll hunt down giant, nature-infused beasts in this third-person action game. Take on the dangerous creatures solo or join 2 others online in order to survive the hunt. Wild Hearts is rated T. Now we move on to membership games. Recipe for Disaster, the restaurant management sim, is available free from the Epic Games Store until Thursday, February 16th. The game aims to capture the fast-paced, drama-filled environment of a professional kitchen and dining room. Build your dream restaurant, create recipes, design menus, and manage your staff, all while contending with demanding customers and disastrous situations. No ESRB rating could be found for Recipe for Disaster. Once the title is no longer available at no charge on Thursday, War Pips will take its place. A tug-of-war strategy game, the developers state that the game is, quote, what would happen if Command & Conquer and Nexus Wars had a baby made out of tanks and napalm, end quote. The physics-based combat allows players to use infantry, vehicles, and airplanes. No ESRB rating could be found for War Pips. Moving on to Game Pass, there's 3 different titles coming to the service this week. Out on Tuesday, February 14th, is Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlord, available on cloud, PC, and Xbox. In the strategy action RPG title, players will create a character and then engage in diplomacy, craft, trade, and conquer new lands in a vast medieval sandbox. Raise armies to lead into battle and command and fight alongside your troops in a massive real-time battle using a deep but intuitive skill-based combat system. Ride into battle on a horse or move on foot as you use whatever weapon you prefer and play in either first or third person. Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord is rated M. The following day will see Cities Skylines remastered on Cloud, PC, and XS. Lastly, Shadow Warrior 3 Definitive Edition is going to be on Cloud, PC, and Xbox. Prime Gaming has added 2 new games to their service this week: Aerial's Knights Never Yield and Divine Knockout. Aerial Knights Never Yield is a 3D side-scroller set in Detroit, but with a futuristic Tokyo style to it. Take the role of Wally, a mysterious character that has recovered what was taken from him. Hopefully, you're fast enough to outrun your enemies. Expose the truth and try to uncover the mystery of what happened to them. With an average runtime of an action movie, about an hour and a half on normal setting, a first run of this action-packed adventure can be enjoyed in an afternoon. Afterward, you can improve your score. Aerial Knights Never Yield is rated T. Divine Knockout gives players the chance to KO gods in the world's only third-person platform fighting game. Inspired by 2D platform fighters, DKO uses the third-person view to change the game. Each arena features a unique mechanic that players must master to win. Some will crumble over time, while others include deadly traps to avoid, or to smash your foes into. Hurl boulders as Hercules, swing Excalibur as King Arthur, or wield Mjolnir as Thor. Best of all, you can unleash each god's devastating abilities at the push of a button. Divine Knockout is rated E10+. This Thursday, February 16th, Guts and Goals will be available via Xbox Games with Gold. Not your normal game of soccer, Guts and Goals is a game where soccer balls can be hockey pucks and you can use a bat instead of your feet in order to score goals, as well as other unusual possibilities. Choose from over 30 unique heroes and play soccer as it has never been played before. Each stadium has a unique way to play soccer, such as scoring a goal with a beach ball or surfing around the map to score. Guts and Goals is rated E10+. A reminder that Games with Gold is included with Game Pass subscriptions. It's time to talk about announcements, early releases, and delays. On February 8th, Nintendo held its Nintendo Direct. They announced some new titles as well as other information. One of the new titles announced is Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. No release date was revealed, nor was any gameplay, so there's not much known about the game at this time. Level 5, the developers of Professor Layton and Ni no Kuni are working on a new title called Deca Police for the Switch. The teaser trailer claimed that the title is a suspenseful thriller that features 2 separate worlds, one of which is virtual and used by detectives for training. No exact release date was given, aside from the fact that it will be released this year. Capcom is bringing a Nintendo DS title to modern consoles. Ghost Trick: Phantom Detective will be making its way to PC, PS4, Switch, and X1. Point-and-click detective game sees players solve crimes as a spirit named Sissel, who has lost his memory and is trying to solve his own death. The release of the game will bring modern quality-of-life upgrades such as 1080p and 60 frames per second, as well as new music and illustrations. Originally released in 2011, the re-release will be available this summer. Atlus has announced that they will release a remastered collection of the first 3 Etrian Odyssey games. They are coming to PC and Switch on June 1st. The Switch version will feature touchscreen functionality, while both versions will have remastered graphics as well as quality of life improvements. Pre-ordering the Etrian Odyssey Origins collection will give players bonus content in the form of 3 DLC packs that include characters from other Atlus titles. If not pre-ordered, the DLC packs can be purchased for $2.99. Dead Island 2, the sequel to the 2011 title Dead Island, was first announced in 2014. Now, nearly a decade later, it is coming out sooner than expected. The official Twitter account for the franchise recently announced that the game has gone gold, meaning that it is ready to be shipped, as well as let people know that the game will be coming out a week early on April 21st. Dead Island 2 will continue the zombie killing gameplay that the first featured, but will now take place in Los Angeles. Dead Island 2 will feature a first from Amazon. Alexa Game Control will allow players to use their voice, in conjunction with Alexa, to swap weapons, set waypoints, goad zombies, and more. From what we could find online, players will not need an Alexa to use this feature, but rather just talk through their microphone. The first-person action RPG will be released on PC, PS4, PS5, X1, and XS. The Division 2's upcoming season has been delayed for a second time in less than 2 weeks. On February 3rd, the official Twitter account for the game announced that it was being delayed from February 7th to an unknown date in order to fix a localization issue that was impacting the experience for players. A week later, and the Twitter account announced that, quote, "In the process of creating the update which would resolve the issue, we encountered an error that brought down the build generation system for the Division 2, end quote. In the end, this means that the game has been delayed even longer than initially intended. They've announced that the previous season's activities would be extended. Well, that does it for announcements, early releases, and delays, folks. Now we get into the hard-hitting news of the industry. Nintendo has announced that Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games are now available on the Switch. Anyone with the standard online membership will be able to play the Game Boy and Color games, but in order to play the Advance games, you still need the Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack membership. Game Boy and Game Boy Color includes 9 titles, including Super Mario Land 2, 6 Golden Coins, Tetris, and The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening DX. 2 more Zelda games have already been announced to join the program, as well as Pokemon Trading Card Game and Kirby's Tilt and Tumble, though no date was given for these titles. For Advance, there are 6 games, including WarioWare Inc., Mega Micro Games. There are 5 titles that will be joining in the future, including Fire Emblem, though again, no date was given. The games include features such as the ability to be played offline, create suspend points for each game to save your progress, choose a smaller screen size or retro filler to play your way, and play online or with local wireless with up to 3 friends in games like Mario Kart Super Circuit. Remedy Entertainment, developers of Max Payne, Control, Alan Wake, and other titles, has confirmed that Alan Wake 2 is, quote, in full production, end quote, and is also now playable from start to finish. The next stage for the game is to polish it and get it ready for launch, according to the company at their latest earnings briefing. The company also announced that Alan Wake Remastered has yet to turn a profit, as Epic Games, who helped its development and marketing expenses, has not recouped their money. Remedy has stated, though, that they believe sales for the remaster will increase when Alan Wake 2 releases later this year. Team Fortress 2 is getting its first large update in years. Their last big one was in 2017. In a blog post, the TF2 team said, quote, "Steam Workshop creators, can we have your attention please? The following message is so urgent, so time sensitive, we've made the executive decision to skip TikTok and Twitter entirely and break the glass on the most bleeding edge communication technology available. Welcome to the future. Welcome to a blog post." End quote. The blog post continued, stating that they are planning on adding items, maps, taunts, unusual effects, and Steam Workshop content. The game is accepting workshop submissions until May 1st. Metroid Prime Remaster has been getting good reviews from both critics and gamers, but 2 developers of the original version are not quite so thrilled with it. On Saturday, February 11th, Zoid Kirsch said that while the studios that made the remaster did amazing work on the remaster, he was let down by the fact that the only mention of the original developers was in the credits where the game states, quote, "Based on the work of Metroid Prime, original Nintendo GameCube and Wii version, development staff." End quote. Jack Matthew joined the conversation stating his agreement. Though he noted that most of his code from the original was likely replaced, he pointed out that the code and other work from some of the other original developers were still a large part of the game. Double Fine, the developers of the Psychonauts series, have released a 32-part series on YouTube that documents the development of Psychonauts 2. The company states that a 20-plus hour look into the development of the game was made from thousands of hours of footage that 2 Players Productions put together for the documentary. The series is called Double Fine Psychodyssey. The platformer was released on August 25th, 2021, and currently has an 89 for PC on Metacritic. As reported by Kotaku, people playing The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Next Gen update were noticing that certain characters had more detail to them than normal. During nude scenes, some would have visible pubic hair as well as visible labia, as opposed to being smoothed over like a Barbie doll. CD Projekt Red put out a statement saying that the additions to the game were accidental and were caused by the use of community-sourced mods. Quote, "The next-gen version of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt features several community-sourced mods not created by CD Projekt Red, on top of numerous enhancements created and implemented by the studio internally. Merging everything together was a complex process, and the textures in question are an unintended result present in the release version. This is something we are working to address. In the near future, CDPR plans to remove these mods." Sky Sports has reported that EA Sports is close to a 6-year deal with the English Premier League, worth about £488 million. By partnering up with the most profitable league in the world, EA will retain the rights to some of the most popular teams in the world, including Liverpool, Manchester City, and Arsenal. This deal will be one more league for EA, as they have already signed on more than 30 other leagues as well as hundreds of teams and athletes. This comes about after EA lost their FIFA license, reportedly due to the fact that FIFA was asking for $1 billion a year for their branding. Now that EA FIFA no longer exists, Electronic Arts will be launching EA Sports FC this year.
Mission complete.
That does it for this week's news segment. I hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to keep up to date on all things GN Squared, we have a Facebook page, Twitter account, TikTok, and Twitch. Also, all weekly news episodes are also available as a podcast on your favorite podcast hosting services, including Spotify and Apple Podcast. Thank you, and see you next time.